Supreme Rising family, how are you guys doing? I am doing pretty good. Just embracing the day. Just come in from some appointments and I'm trying to get into my next phase of the day and so I can scratch off my tasks. And I'm doing fine. And I hope you guys are doing fine, doing well. I pray so. And I'm going to I was planning to come on just for a few minutes and chat at you guys. There's so much that's going on right now, and so much that we could talk about. I try and limit my discussions about things that are kind of low vibrational because I don't want any of that low energy to creep in. And so, but I did want to take a few minutes and come on and mention a couple of things to you guys. And the first thing I wanted to mention is the death of the young rapper. I think his name's Takeoff. Was murdered, they say, during a dice game in Houston. Is what I read and what I've heard from a couple of teachers. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I assume it happened last night and yesterday. I know as Halloween was approaching, as I always do every year, I contact my daughters and I always give them my little advice, my safety advice. And I'm not rested until I do that, until I contact them and remind them, and that's just being a mother, that's what we do. And so I did get that done and, ask them to advise them to be careful. And if you don't have to go out, please don't go out. Because those of us who are really aware are at a certain level of awareness right now in this space, we know that the evils, they enhance their rituals during this time of the year and during this holiday. And so I was not shocked when I woke up this morning and the first thing I hear was that this young rapper was murdered in Houston. And the next thing popped in my mind was ritual. Ritual. As a matter of fact, I thought about it early in the day yesterday, and for quite a few days, it's kind of to be honest, been kind of in and out of my mind, the ritual thing that they'll be doing this. And that's one of the reasons I advise those that I love and those that are in my space, to be careful. And even to the point, my husband and I, we're at a place where we don't even go out during these times. We stay home, and we try to stay in a peaceful state for sure, accelerated peace, because we understand what's happening on the planet, and that's our motivation for the way we respond to this holiday. We don't give it any energy at all. We close our door, we turn off our lights. We don't hand out trick-or-treat candy. No, we don't do that. We don't participate in this so-called holiday at all. And we can't tell anybody else what to do, but that's just what we do. And because of what we know and what we understand now, we used to, but we've cut out all of that now that we're more educated about what's going on the planet during these times in this holiday. So, but to wake up this morning, I was not shocked when I read what I read, and and now seeing it everywhere in social media, I was not surprised at all. I anticipated that something like this might, and I don't want to say anticipated because I tried very hard not to give it any energy, but it did cross my mind. With all of the you hear all the talk about don't it's all an illusion, don't give it any energy, don't give it any thought, and that's easier said than done. And of course, it's an illusion, but when you're living in real time and things are you responding to these things and they're affecting you directly in real time. It's a challenge to just view it all as an illusion when you're living in it in real time. And to be realistic, anybody that tells me, to just accept it or just absorb it, and maybe at some point that's what we will do, but it's, you just telling somebody to do that, and you're being affected in the present, which is what we should be focused on, is the present, these things that affect us right here and now. It's kind of hard to just ignore, what you're experiencing in the present. Some things, it's not ignorable, if that's a word. So to me, it's unrealistic to just tell somebody just don't pay any attention, especially if it's something that's like hitting you in the face. You can't ignore it. So I don't tell people that. I try to you know in my spiritual walk, I try to respond to people in a way that's also realistic. I don't try to play so spiritual that I can't see, and feel, because that's, to me, that's not being realistic. We are dealing with stuff at work. You walk in your job and you never know, you can get a pink slip at any time. So you have to respond to it, even if it's, just to walk out the door and be okay with it. That's still a response. So when you're dealing with things in real time and they're affecting you in the moment, in the present, to me, it's unrealistic to say, just, you know, just act like it ain't happening, because it's happening to you. It is. So, and I understand that. And I've talked to people, a few people, about this area of understanding, and I have to be honest, especially when they hit me with what I just said. Well, how do you just ignore it? How do you? So it is, everybody has to do them, and so that's just my take on that. But the other thing is, I was talking to a friend earlier, and she was talking about the Kanye saga and all of the awareness that's coming to the forefront about black people in America, black people, so to speak, in America, and how all of the truth about who we really are is surfacing. And I was just telling somebody earlier that I remember when I was a child, I was told that our people we shared the same DNA as people who looked like us all over the world, but we were actually different. We were not the same. We were a special kind of people. And so there's been, talk and actually information in several places that I have read and discovered about us being the true Jews, or us being the chosen Israelites. There's so much information out there. And I have been trying to confirm what is actually what is real, what is truth. And I'm on my quest to understand that. And so are so many others. I have not met anyone yet who has a 100% understanding and know all there is to know about that. I haven't, and I don't think I ever will. But I'm looking to get as close to possible to the truth, because that truth, I am a truth seeker, and the truth is important to me. And I don't turn away from any information that is a possibility. That complete foolishness, I ain't gonna engage in that. But if it even sounds like it's a possibility, or it could be, I want to hear it. I want to know about it, because I'm searching for the real truth in this phase in my life. And because the truth is important again to me, and I value the truth. I'm one of those that value the truth, and I don't care how hard it is, how harsh it is, how strong it is, how mild or meek or whatever. As long as it's the truth and I can pin it down, I will definitely receive it and accept it. But I've advised several people, well, I don't say several, a few people here recently, to, I've advised certain books that we can read, and certain platforms to visit to try and get a better understanding of all this that's in the air now concerning the Kanye and the Kyrie, who we are, and it's just amazing how divine, that such a divine time we're in, where I was telling a sister earlier that, what I see is happening with these brothers is divine. They have been chosen to reach these ceilings and to break these ceilings and open the door for us. And I believe that they're divinely protected. And so, because when you're walking in your purpose and when you are aligned with the universe, it comes with an automatic covering. And so, and I see these brothers as, being covered. The universe has their back, and there's nothing. The thing about it is, because we're immortal beings, we live on and on and on. So we don't die. And these brothers, I know they understand that, and the way they're talking and moving, I know they understand that, and I understand it. And when you're walking in a place with no fear, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Everything you do, and especially if it's aligned with the universe, it will come to pass. That's just how it works. And so these topics are at the forefront. And I know many of our people are still attached to the matrix in a way that they still don't realize what's happening on this planet. A lot of them are still at the bottom. And when I say at the bottom, meaning they don't have a clue. Where, many of the rest of us are at different levels in this awakening. So we know enough, a lot of us know enough to understand that there is some truth out there, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And it appears that these two brothers are being used by the universe to help us get to the bottom of it. Oh, it's a lot going on, guys. And I tell you, at certain points in times, I just have to pull away from my daily routine, and even in socializing with, in certain conversations with certain people. Sometimes I just have to take a moment, and it's all in an effort to stay in peace, to even avoid the conversation. Certain conversations are so strong, they're so heavy. Let me use the word heavy. And although we need to have these conversations, we still need to be able to take care of ourselves and still be in a peaceful state so we can, maneuver on a day-to-day and still be well within our minds, bodies, and souls. So ever so often, I have to pull away from everything and everybody and just rest my mind, rest my body, rest everything. And so periodically I'll do that, but ultimately my goal is to learn as much as I can learn, and I'm on a quest for that, and I'm doing my very, very best. But guys, let's continue to stand fast and be encouraged and be strong in this war, because it is a war. It's a spiritual war, a mental war. It's a different kind of war than what we're used to, and but it has to happen. It has to happen, and so we have to move in it in a way that keeps us in one piece, mentally and physically. So I want to encourage you to continue to get your sun, continue to take breaks, continue to rest, be encouraged, guys, and love one another, and try to stay in a place of love. Keep your heart chakra open, because if you're living in love and not fear, that's the key. by not many of us realize that. That is the key. So, and don't worry about, I would advise you guys, don't worry about being judged. Don't worry about what everybody think, because people, everybody's going to think what they want to think, and people will view you from where they are. And nobody can tell me, and I'll tell you, nobody can tell me that they got it all figured out. Not one person. And that's why it's so important that we be careful how we deliver information and how we talk, our tone, and we don't all get that right all the time, because I don't either. But I'm constantly checking myself, because I never want to come across like I'm walking in ego. Ego needs to be balanced. We need to, have that balanced, and just be very, very careful. So the one thing I've learned in these past 2 years, one of the things that I've learned that is so important, is not to worry about what other people think. I do not care what people think. And I've been needing to get to this place for a very long time. I'm finally here. And I feel so good about that. Whatever I put out there on my platforms, and like I say, we're beings, human beings, so to speak. So we're not going to get it right every time. But when you know your intentions are good and you're walking in love, and especially love, and especially intentions, because the universe knows your intentions. You're not going to get away with behaving evil, and feeling evil. But when you walk in a place with good intentions, you can't lose. You cannot lose. So don't be concerned, guys, what other people think of you and what other people say about you. Because every time they judge you, they point and judge you, that thumb is pointing back at them. So always remember that. I've had to remind myself of that. When you point at somebody else, your thumb is pointing back at you. So don't let anybody fray you away from speaking your truth and being you, your authentic you, and walking with good intentions and walking in love. You will win every time with that. You will, guys. And so I'm so glad that I have learned that. It's taken me quite some time to come to the place to where I don't care what people think. And I'll go on my Facebook page, and I post, in whatever I'm feeling, however I want to post, I post. And I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'm going to do me. I have finally arrived to that place, and I love it. It's a beautiful place to be. So, guys, I just wanted to come on for a moment and talk about those things. And I want to remind you guys to just be encouraged again. I say for the third time. And keep your head up, walk in love, stay joyful, stay happy, and in peace. And that's where we have to be, guys. I love you so, so very much. You are my people, and you guys, I love you. So I'm going to ask you, as I always do, to like the video. Please like the video, because when you like it, others can see it, and share it so that more people can see it. And I appreciate you for doing that. I'm going to sign out by saying Assalamu alaikum to you. Namaste. Ashe. 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 Stay in peace, guys. I love you to life. I'm going to say bye-bye and have a great day.